There we go. There's another one I want to do as well that has to do with money, um, with manifesting money. And so I want to do both. I kind of feel like I don't know which one I should do first. Um,
So I'm in mastermind. And then
mhm.
I also have another coach who does one-on-one coaching with me, and Elisa actually is in it too. So work with
Nice.
her, and it's from March until December. And she works very closely with us. I mean, like one-on-one. It's not going to be like that in mastermind. You're going to
Hmm.
have some one-on-ones and you're going to have some time like that. If you can show, I know you're busy during the day, so it might be hard for you, but if you, once you show up on some of the lives, if they do questions, especially the Q&A, then you can get your answers answered directly. But otherwise, like that's what I'm, for me, I needed a little more hand holding. So for me, I'm working with Katie for that too. So like I'm getting that from Katie, and I'm getting, a lot of information from Mastermind for other things. So
Got it. Okay. Yeah, my days, my days are relatively like I can, oops, sorry, my baby wants to go down her stairs. Um, I can do stuff like during the day, but usually I leave. I don't have classes on Wednesday nights right now. So it's nice because I can do our webinars because I'm home. But the evenings are tough because I'm teaching. So
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, I want to do the mastermind though. Um, you're right
I've
though.
grown a lot. I really have grown a lot since I've been in it, like a lot. It's a different mindset. It's so different. And but you'd have to see, like I would ask them, like, where would you start? Because I don't even know how somebody starts at this point. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know the answer.
yeah. I
Because
can see
there's,
that because you guys
because
have been how long have you been in it?
well, we started it in November, so I've been in it since the beginning.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. So it's almost like 6 months almost. Um, I would like to. I don't want to miss a
Oh,
step.
5 months in. March.
It'll happen though when it's supposed to happen. Have your
Exactly.
sales increased?
They're starting to.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
A lot. But I will tell you one thing that helped me tremendously was Mindy. Have you listened to Mindy Judd yet? She does live.
Yes, I saw her video about doing lives.
So she charges $97. It's well worth it. And she will do a one-on-one with you, and she will have you by the end of that one-on-one. It's about 90 minutes. Actually, shouldn't say it's 97 because now I'm actually confused. I think I paid that to somebody else for something else. So I don't remember how much it was, but I get confused with that. So hold on. I don't think that was her. But anyway, she'll do like an hour and a half with you. And by the end, you will know exactly what to say in your life. And every day I do the same live. And my first one
Really?
yesterday, the other day, I had someone reach out to me, and she's like, how do I work with you? What do I do? And so I told her, and then I happened to jump on her live today. I saw that she was live. So let me jump on. So I jumped on her
Nice.
live and we were chatting, and we're going to do a one-to-one tomorrow. So I can go over her questions with her.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I yesterday it was right before I had to start teaching. I had jumped online for something and I jumped on TikTok. I can't even remember what I was looking for, but I came across you were on live and I'm like, oh, I want to hang out, but I couldn't because we were getting ready to start class.
Oh,
So, but when you're on live, or at least at two, if I'm not teaching, I'll jump on and support you guys.
yeah, definitely. Because it makes it more fun when people do that, because we can talk more.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes you just, like today, I just talked and I was like, is there anybody there? Hello, knock, knock, knock. Is anybody going to answer me about anything I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard
And
when,
then yesterday I had all these commenters. So it was great.
oh, that's awesome. It does make it more fun when there's interaction, because
Yeah.
otherwise you feel like you're just
Yeah.
talking to a screen,
Yeah. It's terrible. It's
but
painful.
you know that there are people there. They're just not coming into the live.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You have to talk like as if you know that. And like, I don't look at the numbers. I just don't even look at it. I just do my thing. and I pretend that people are there, and sometimes they are and sometimes they're not. You know
Yeah.
how that goes,
But
right?
you're there and that's what matters.
Yeah, and I'm showing up. I'm actually do it again today. We'll see. Maybe
I
I will.
love it. What time are you going to go live?
I don't know. I already went live today, so I might do it again. I'll see when I have some extra time. Because I have after this, I have my meeting with my mentor. And then
Okay.
I think we're gonna go join some friends for dinner.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Nice. I'm going to try to go live tonight.
Do it.
Oh, I haven't gone live in a long time. So I need to get, that's one of my goals is to get back to consistency with going live.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
So it'll help a lot, I think.
Do you have
Oh,
anybody in that waiting room or no?
no, not right now.
Oh,
Not right now. Every once in a while, there's a webinar where we don't have people coming to the webinar,
mhm.
but it doesn't matter. We're still gonna
All
do
right.
everything because I'll post the replay in the insiders inner circle.
Okay. Then you want to get started?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started.
All
I
right.
don't want to miss anything.
All right. Awesome. All right. So let's see where. Ooh, my notes move. Sorry. They're on my
No
iPad.
worries. I'm jealous of your background, girl. Oh my God.
All
Oopsie.
right. Well, thank you for inviting me. Um,
Absolutely.
Sandra, to this um topic that I love, and a topic I never thought I'd be talking about 2 years ago, but like my life just shifted so much. And it is employee to entrepreneur and the mind shift that you need to be able to succeed, right? So
Love it.
most people struggle in online business. They struggle in business, right? Mostly, well, not because they're lacking the skills or the tools, but because they've never shifted out of that employee mindset because we've been in
Uh,
so long, right? So today I want to break down exactly what that means and how you can start actually thinking like a successful entrepreneur.
nice. I love it.
Yeah, because like most of us have been taught from a very young age to go to work for somebody else, work from 9 to 5 or whatever hours. We'll just call it 9 to 5, right? Like
Right,
like Dolly did, right?
right.
And that's what we were taught, and that's what we know. And most of us have done that for a good majority of our life now. I'm actually 58 years old, so I have been doing that since I'm it's probably 16, so over 40 years, right?
Wow, yeah.
And actually, at the end of the day, I don't have retirement. I don't have a piece of anything. I wasted my time in that sense, but I didn't in some senses. But so let's talk about that because most of us, we were conditioned to be employees, right?
Right.
School, we learned how to do that in school. To our corporate jobs, we were taught how to follow instructions, trade time for dollars, right? And rely on someone else to dictate to us when we work, how we work, and how our success is going to look. Somebody else
Yeah.
is always controlling those strings for us, no matter what we did, right?
Right.
Doesn't work when you run your own business. So let's break down the biggest differences between an employee mindset and an entrepreneur mindset. Okay. An employee mindset thinks, tell me what to do. They'll sit there and they'll wait for those instructions.
Right.
Entrepreneur mindset, you can't do that because there's nobody telling you what to do. You may
Right.
have mentors and you have guidance, but no one is saying to you, Cassandra, go do what you need to do. Just get it done. It's not like that. So an employee mindset, tell me what to do. An entrepreneur mindset is, I take full ownership of what I need to do.
Right.
Okay, you're doing it for you. You're doing it for you. You're doing it for your family. You're
Yep.
doing it to change your life. I get paid, an employee mindset is, I get paid for time worked. And an entrepreneur mindset is going to say, I create value and I get paid for results.
Right.
Difference, right?
Yeah.
An employee mindset tells you that mistakes are bad, but an entrepreneur mindset says mistakes are lessons that lead to growth.
Yep. I love that.
Know that you
True.
need to fail 24 times before you win. Think about
Really?
it. Yeah. We don't all get yeses right away. We have to fail forward and you learn each time. Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
An employee mindset is going to tell you that Security comes from my paycheck. But an
Uh,
entrepreneur mindset is going to sell you, I built my own security through my skills and my strategies.
yeah.
Very different. So have you ever struggled with that shifting out of that employee mindset yourself?
You know, I'm not I'm not a very typical um worker bee. I've been self-employed almost my whole life. So, like with my dance company, I'm it. If I don't do promo, we have small classes. If I don't do choreography, we don't have routines. So I'm used to having to be driven that way. But a lot of people are not. They're not used to being the one that does everything and in control.
So you are lucky that you started young enough that you now have that entrepreneur mindset and you
Right.
never had to shift from it. But somebody like myself and most people, like you said, will have to shift from that. And it's,
Right.
even the first time that I went on vacation as an entrepreneur working for myself, I looked at my husband and I'm like, it feels so weird. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I feel like I'm supposed to tell somebody, like report to somebody, tell them what I'm doing. Where am I going? Like, you really don't realize how conditioned your brain gets.
Yep.
And you live like that because that's what we were taught to do. To
Yeah,
only do what you know, and we don't know what we don't know, right? So
exactly.
let's talk about the three biggest shifts that you must make to to get into that entrepreneur mindset. Okay. The first
Okay.
thing is you need to stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like a CEO. We're no longer working for somebody else. We're no longer making our bosses rich. We're no longer doing that. So you need to think like the CEO that you were making their dreams come true. Get into their mindset of how
Yep.
they do want things because no one's ever going to come to save you. No boss is going to tell you what to do, and you are in control. You're not going to have those old days of that. So if that's what you are used to, you have to recondition your brain because nobody is coming here to save you. Everything is going to be based on what you put into it. 100%. Kind of like when you started that 9 to 5 and you thought to yourself, I'm going to give them everything I can because if I do that, I'll be the best employee. And if I'm the best employee, I'm going to win awards. And if I win awards, I'm going to get bonuses and I'm going to make more money. Well, that is not the way it always goes. We put
Right.
heart and soul into our bosses. And I know I've done it, been there, done that myself, only to turn around and no raise, no promotion. And even if you did, here's $1,000 more a month. Well, that's not a lot of money for a
Right.
bonus. It's just not. So employees will wait for instructions. Entrepreneurs are going to take that initiative. They don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
Right.
You have to make it happen, right?
Yep. It's on you.
Employees, they want a guarantee. They want to know that if they do this, this is what they're going to get paid at the end of the week. But entrepreneurs, they bet on themselves.
Right.
It's much riskier. It's a little scarier, but it's also the most fulfilling. So
I
sometimes,
totally agree.
most of the time, we got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable, and we got to get out of that freaking comfort zone.
Yep.
Because that comfort zone is getting you a paycheck every week from your boss, but is that paycheck doing really anything for you? Then you need to
Keeping
fix.
you stuck.
Then you have to bet on yourself because employees do tasks. Entrepreneurs, well, we solve problems and we create opportunities. That's what
Yep.
we bring value to the table. We are the ones supplying that. So starting today, I want everybody that's watching this to start acting like the CEO of your business and ask yourself, what does my business need from me today to grow? And be honest with yourself. Even if it means that you have to put a little extra sweat and tears into what you're doing, do it. And even if you do it scared, do it,
Yep.
but do it. So ask yourself that question. What does my business need from me today to grow? And then dedicate yourself every day to do that. And honestly, if you're not even sure, you can ask ChatGPT and ChatGPT is going to tell you what you need to do. And it's pretty amazing. And don't be foolish and not use it, because it's everybody I know, including multimillionaires, are using ChatGPT, and they will tell you they use it for everything. So,
It is amazing.
and if you guys are not using it and you're not totally immersed in AI, you don't want to be late to the game. It's already happening. The longer
Right.
you are going to be, it's going to be to you. It's going to be like as the person that didn't know how to turn a computer on for 10 years while everybody else was learning how to be proficient at it. And now they want to start using it, and they got to sit there and learn the things that you now know so easily, right? It's not so
Yeah.
easy to somebody new. Okay. So let's talk about how we work for somebody else and what are we doing? We're trading time for money, right?
Right.
What if you stop trading time for money and you start creating leverage for yourself? Because one of the hardest things to unlearn is the idea that time equals money. Entrepreneurs build systems that work even when they're not working.
Yep.
We put the time in. We don't have to put as much time in. We put that time in, and we let our systems do the work for us. And that, my friends, that is the true freedom right there of being an entrepreneur.
For
Employees
sure.
get paid for hours that are worked, and entrepreneurs create multiple streams of income that work for you 24/7. An employee
Right.
works one job, used to work one job. Nowadays, I know a lot of employees that are working two jobs and some three, because people can't make ends meet. The economy is not what it is. Retirement is not what it is. People have saved a lot of money for retirement, but then they can't retire on it because the economy's changed. And
Right.
people are living longer than they were supposed to. So now what are you going to do? You need more money.
Right.
Entrepreneurs create income streams that work for them 24/7. And there's nothing better than getting dings on your phone all day, notifying you of all of those different things. You're like, oh, yeah, you got one here, one here, one here. And
Yep.
that's the fun part. So, how do you do it? Well, you create content that works for you around the clock. You want it to be something that is evergreen and everlasting. You don't want to talk about today on March 19th, this is what's going on this beautiful day, because that's not evergreen. Because when somebody watches it in December, they're going to go, oh, that was old. And they're going to say,
Yeah.
hi. But that's not the case if you are more evergreen with what you're saying. Okay. So you want something that's going to work for you 24/7. And that message, when it gets seen, is always going to be relevant. Okay. And then you want automation. If you're not using automation, you're missing the boat. You're missing it, because automation, which is your emails, your systems that are in place that are going to make you have money and make your business work for you 24/7, and funnels that are going to capture the information that you need. So your business runs while you sleep. Literally wake up in the morning and I'll check and see if I got any new leads, and I'll have like 3 more leads while I was sleeping. Or
That's amazing.
it is, I'll wake up in the morning and be like, oh, there's a ding on my phone and I made money while I was sleeping.
It's
So,
awesome.
I didn't do that at my 9 to 5. The only thing text messaging I got from my boss was questions about work, even after hours. It didn't matter.
Wow.
Okay. So you want something to create automation so that your business is going to run for you even while you sleep 24/7. That also allows me to travel. I can travel and work from anywhere, because all I need is, I'm not on it right now, but all I need is my iPhone. Look, I'm totally set up today. I'm even on my tripod.
I love it.
I'm gonna go on here before with you, but it wasn't working. So, okay, we pivot, right? All right. You need to focus on skills that are going to create long-term profit. You want to focus on marketing, sales, and branding. Branding yourself so people know who you are. Look, I'm Rise with Renee. That's who I am.
Love it.
Okay. In fact, I'm going to change this logo a little bit and put arrows up here, but really cool. So, so it's Rise. People will get to remember that, and they'll remember Rise. They'll hear Rise. They'll think Rise with Renee. You guys,
Yep.
you got to brand yourself. People have to get to know you. They need to get to like you and trust you. Once you do that, then everything else will fall in place. So you need to be doing marketing. Marketing digitally is letting people know that you're out there, telling them about what you do,
Yeah.
taking a product or a service and pushing it out there, especially in the digital world, so that you keep a digital footprint. It's your real estate. Think about it like real estate. The more times you put out stuff out there, your link to your website is where you make your money. And that link is out there in your real estate. And it's free. It's free
Yep.
real estate, right?
Yep.
So you want to focus on those skills. And then your sales, but those sales should be coming from the online interactions that you're doing, from your posting, also getting involved with people and making sure that you are commenting and liking and engaging, because that's going to bring eyeballs to you.
Yep. Excuse me.
It's all in how you handle yourself, but you can't just worry about yourself. You have to give too. It's the giver's gain theory. You want to get, you have to give. Don't give because you want to get, just give. It'll all come back to you.
Yep.
So my question for everybody watching this is, have you ever caught yourself working like an employee in your business? And if you have, what's one thing that you can automate or simplify for yourself?
Well, for the digital marketing, it's a little bit different. For my dance company, I'm not using automations. I think it's a little bit different with that kind of business because it's like it's a physical, you're dancing, you're physically moving. But getting people to the website, I could use automations for that.
I'm just gonna say, I mean, for me, if I was you could never get your message out there enough because people want to dance. That's why they're learning from you.
Yep.
Want to know about it. You have to message out there to them, put out a funnel so that you can capture those emails and then do a newsletter even once a week. Just let them know that you're going to send them something and love on them. And that will keep them present and not wandering away from you.
Yep.
Because you want to retain those customers too, right? You want
Yeah.
to retain them. And that's also your chance to be able to maybe offer a special dance class or a bonus or something to them to get them to come in for more classes.
Yep.
A lot of things you can do there. You can even maybe do, I don't know how you package it or anything, but you can package it with a special promotion for the month of May. I'm giving you XYZ classes on these nights for this much money, just
Right.
because you want to lure them in. So there's a lot of things you can do. In my opinion, every business, not even in my opinion, every business needs automation. Every business.
I agree. I agree.
Make your business bigger.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So stop waiting for the perfect moment and start taking action now. Because guess what, people? Entrepreneurs, we don't wait. We take messy action. We'll figure it out as we go. And the more that you do it, the better it gets. I can promise you. It's like, I like to tell people it's like this. It's like riding a bike, okay? Remember those days when your mom or your dad or whoever it was said, okay, I'm going to teach you how to ride a bike. And here's the bike. And you're like, how do I get on that without it falling over?
Right.
The first step, you don't know how to get on it. But now you know how to get on it. You know how to press that pedal. You know how to go uphill. You know how to go downhill. You know how to go wherever you want to go on it. But you
Yeah.
didn't know that first day, you didn't even know how to get on the bike. So the first day
Exactly.
you got on it, when your parents taught you how to get on that bike, you were very wobbly. You're probably wobbling it all over and you thought you were never going to not be wobbly. You probably thought, I suck at this, right? And then the next day you picked it back up again and you were like, oh, wait a minute, I think I got it. Wait, I'm a little bit steadier, right? I mean, you're gonna learn how to ride a bike ride a bike much faster than you will be an entrepreneur. So
Right.
right? But you get the message. You take messy action, you just do it. You don't worry about anybody thinking about what are you doing or anything. You just get it done because that's what we have to do. And we will learn from our mistakes.
Right.
That's the difference, right? We don't
Yep.
care if there's a mistake because we're going to learn and grow.
Absolutely.
Big difference. Employees tend to overthink and delay things. They like to put things off, procrastinate more. Entrepreneurs, we test, we learn, and we adjust.
Yes.
You have to.
You have to be flexible.
Pivot. You have to be able to flex and you have to be able to pivot because we don't know when things are going to change. And you get that aha moment where you're like, oh, that's it right there. And you have to be able to go with it. And you need
Yeah.
other options that come along.
Totally agree.
Most people wait until they feel ready, right? But here's the truth. You're never going to feel ready.
There's no ready.
There's no ready. The only way to build confidence is actually by doing it.
Right.
If you stared at that bike until you could figure out how to make it work perfectly, you would have never got on it. Same thing with a car. A car is a scary thing to drive, right? It's very intimidating. And meanwhile, we're all driving.
Yeah.
But we got in it and we didn't know how to do it, but we had to learn. We had to be taught. And then we had to tweak it and we had to get better. And then you go and swerve away from somebody and now you learned how to swerve. Like we just learn as we go. And that's how life is when you're an entrepreneur. Okay.
Yeah.
Most people will wait until they're ready, and that is not going to do you any good in anything you do. No matter what you do, we wait until we're ready. You wait until you're ready to get married, you'll never get married. You wait until you're ready to have children, there's no good time. We just
Right.
go with it and pivot, okay? So on this part, what I want you guys to do is commit to taking one bold step today. Post that video. I want you to launch that offer. Go live. Start a conversation with somebody. Whatever has been holding you back, I want you to just do it. Do it scared, do it sloppy, do it messy, but freaking do it. Just do it.
Yep.
And then when you do that stuff, and this is going to be posted in Cassandra's group, then I want you, after you watch this, to tell me down below, what was the messy action that you took? I want to know how it went and what you took, okay? So that is just a little bit about this, but you guys, that is the biggest thing. Cassandra, you and I were talking about going live. I dreaded half the time, but I just do it. And I know you've been putting it off. And what did I say to you? Just do it. Just
do it. Yeah.
Do it. And if nobody shows up, it's okay, because tomorrow's another day. We'll do it again. We got to be consistent, though. Consistency is the key, especially as an entrepreneur. You need to show up every single day. You can't go, today's the day I don't feel like working. You can't do that. It doesn't happen that way.
No.
And when you do something that you love and you're doing it for yourself and you're building it for yourself and your family, it's a really big difference. And it changes everything for you. Because
it does.
those days of working for somebody else and being like, oh, I don't feel like doing that today. I'm going to do that project tomorrow. That won't happen now, because every time you do that, you just fall further behind for yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. So the biggest difference between an employee and an entrepreneur is not skill, as you can tell, right? It is mindset. And I'll share with you guys one thing, okay? Mindset is extremely powerful, and it is the reason for failure and is the reason for success. And I'm going to share with you what I mean by that, okay? I mentioned to you guys already that I'm 58 years old. I have spent my entire life since 5th grade going on diets and losing weight. My entire life.
Wow.
I have lost weight. I've gained the weight. I've lost the gait. You get it. I'm sure everyone watching this is shaking their head right now and saying, me too, okay? And I've lost a lot of weight during the time. I've gotten very focused. I had great mindset, right? But somewhere along the line, your mindset shifts. I'll use food for an example because I can talk the talk and I'll tell you why in a second. But your mindset will shift on you because you're losing weight. You feel good. You know you got this thing to control, girl, right? But then you go to a party and you've been so good for 6 months, right? You go to that party, you go on that vacation finally, and you're like, I want that pizza today. I'm going to just take the cheese off the pizza. I'm just going to eat that part. And then you end up eating the crust and you eat everything. Before you know it, you're like, I blew it. I'm going to eat a cookie today. And I'm going to have that glass of wine today. And I'm just going to enjoy myself the way I used to in my old mindset. And I'm going to go back to it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and you don't feel good. So now you're off of it another day. And this is what happens. This
And
is
on and on and on.
So when you get that mindset that you are not going to wait away from it, you will lose the weight finally. You will make the money finally. You will get married finally. You will do all of these things. You'll have that baby. You will do the things that were holding you back. I finally committed to myself, changed my entire mindset 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago, and I lost 100 pounds.
Wow, that's amazing, Renee.
And I wouldn't have gotten there if my mindset had played tricks on me and I would have let it. I didn't let it. That,
Yeah.
my friends, is the difference. You have to be in control of it. When you're an entrepreneur, you need to be in control of that mindset because you're going to wake up on the mornings and you're going to be tired and you're not going to
Yeah.
want to get up because you didn't sleep good last night because your dog was yapping all night and you couldn't figure out why. I don't even have a dog, but I know somebody here is going, yep, yep, yep. I don't even have a dog, but you know what I'm saying? And like, set you up and you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I work for myself. I'll just start a little later today. You cannot do that. Every
No.
hour counts. Every hour counts and every hour makes a difference. So what you put into it today is what you're going to get out of it. Okay.
So true.
So the moment you start thinking like a business owner, everything will start to change for you. And that, my friends, is when the shift happens. And until then, you will keep that mindset on. Got to get rid of it. It does not fit in this, and your life will be so different because of that. You no
Yeah.
longer will have to go to work for that 9 to 5. No more PTO. No more. Like I don't have PTO. I'm literally going away. I went on 2 vacations already this year. I'm going away this month. Next month, I'm going to this month. Oh, next week, I'm going to Kansas for an
Yay.
amazing retreat for Mastermind, right? And
I
then
love it.
with Michelle, which I'm super stoked about. And then I come back, and 4 days later, I leave on a cruise with my daughter for her 21st birthday.
Wow.
And I leave on another cruise like 2 weeks later. And I come back and I leave on another cruise in 3 weeks. And now I'm booking another one for June. So, you guys, the point is live your life the way you want because we only get one life. And that's our book. We have a book of life that's written about our life. And the best part about it is you don't like this chapter, you get to write the next one. The way you
Yes. Yes.
stuck in their life, the way that they think they're stuck. The only thing stuck is your mindset. You got to get out of that mindset, get into that CEO mindset because you now are the CEO of your PTO. And if you want to be the CEO of your PTO, you better work for it. And you got to put the mindset on. And that doesn't mean you need to work harder. And it doesn't mean you have to work longer. It just means you need to work smarter.
I just literally did a post on TikTok today where I was talking about working smarter, not harder.
It's so true. It's so true. People
Yep.
are like, oh yeah, it's not true. It is true. Because I literally could get everything I need done in 2 hours of working a day. And
Yep.
we can go on about my day. But if I'm not busy and I don't have something that I'm going to do, and really honestly, this is where I still have my employee mindset, and that is a good mindset, is my Monday through Friday, like working.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't get rid of it. My husband works in the house too. So, like, literally, I have that mindset. But if something comes up that I really want to go do, I do it. I can do it. I have that option to go do it. I get up, I'll do my stuff. I know that I have 2 hours of income earning activities I need to do. And it doesn't matter if I do it at 9 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock at night. I just need to get it done in that 24-hour time period. That's it.
Right.
All right. So, what my final challenge to you guys is drop in the chat or say out loud what is one mindset shift that you are committing to today. What is one mindset? It's like a tongue twister. What is one mindset shift that you are going to commit to today?
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I don't know that it would be a shift because I'm already doing this, but just staying consistent,
Well, that's a big shift.
making sure that I'm consistent every day.
Cassandra, consistency is where the magic happens.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's something that people don't know until they do it. You're not going to
Yeah.
have to experience that magic until you do it because if I didn't stay consistent through my weight loss, I would never have seen that 100 pounds. I wouldn't have
Right.
seen that number at the end. It
Yep.
would be all consistency day in and day out. And I did it. I did it. But I will tell you, going live consistently, go every day. And then when you can tie it into a time frame, tie it into that time frame. You'll get there. But go consistently every day. Email every day. Like you got to do these things every single day. That's part of your income earning activities. Those are non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable.
Do you go live every day, Renee?
I just started committing to it. I,
Ah, okay.
I've done it a couple times where I've gone like 4 or 5 days and then the weekend comes and then I go, I don't feel like it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
now I'm like, no, 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 you have to do it. So like I already went live today and I feel like I want to go live again.
How long do you stay on for when you go live?
I try to go like 45 minutes minimum
Nice,
to an hour. Like if I have to,
nice.
or if there's somebody I want to, like I'm having a good time, I want to stay on, I will. But I'll get off usually in an hour. And
That's awesome.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, this is your business. This is your future. It is your book of life that you get to
Yes.
write. You need to show up like the CEO that you are.
Yep.
And it's in the mindset. And I don't care if you have to get a hat that says CEO, put it on. If you have to get a shirt, I have a t-shirt that says CEO, put it on.
Yep.
And once you start thinking like that, it's really a great shift. It's so empowering. And
It really is.
it's really empowering and it's really exhilarating
Yep. I agree.
and it's really freeing.
It is. It is. You have to be committed, but when you're able to do things on your time, like when it works for you and your life, that's amazing because most people don't have that.
No, they don't, because we're both busy working for our bosses. I remember so many companies I work for, watching my boss always making money, always going in a nice car, always living in a nice home, always going on nice vacations.
Mhm.
I'm thinking, I can't wait till I get my next paycheck because I need groceries for my family.
Yeah.
And you know what? There comes a point in your life where you're like, I'm doing all the heavy lifting and they're getting all the benefits.
Yes.
So maybe I should start doing the heavy lifting for myself, helping other people get there, and then I reap the benefits.
Yep.
There's so many. Because for
That
me, the biggest benefit for me, besides the money, is the freedom and not having to say to somebody, oh, I need this week off and this week. Imagine going into your boss and saying, I need this time off in January and February and March and April and May and June. And they're going to be like, yeah, you need another job.
right, right.
I'll let you off because how many days did I get off before? I got 1 week paid vacation at Christmas time when everybody was off. I couldn't even afford to go away because the prices are double at Christmas time. You can't go anywhere. So I had one paid week off. And then when you get to like a certain level, which I did, you get 2 weeks off. And that was a joke because 1 week is your free week that you get off in December. So it's not like you can get 2 weeks and you can't take them off in a row. And you can't break it up into like long weekends. So I do a lot of long weekend trips because I can go on Friday and come back on Monday.
Right,
And
right.
yeah, for me, but I bring my work right with me. I have that CEO mindset. I get up on my cruises in the morning. I get up and I do what I need to do. And then I go on about my day. It takes me less than 2 hours.
That video you did when right before we talked on the phone, I just love how I think you were on the balcony of your room on your cruise. And I'm like, that is amazing. That is amazing that that you can do that anywhere. I do the same thing when I'm traveling for my dance company. I'm doing content wherever I am.
It's the best feeling.
It
Like I'm
is.
not stuck working in a desk and I'm like, okay. So some people might be like, well, but don't you want to just take a vacation and not bring your work with you? Who wants to bring their work with you? I'm like, well, let me ask you this question. Do you want 2 vacations, maybe a year, 1 to 2 vacations a year, couple of
Right.
paid vacation days off when there's a holiday, right? And then or bring your work with you, work for 2 hours and then go on about your day. And look at my view. I'm sitting looking at the ocean.
Right.
The biggest struggle for me in that trip was figuring out how to set up my tools so that I can so I can record right. That was my struggle.
Oh, wow.
seriously, what a struggle, right?
Yeah,
You didn't
exactly,
get to sit
exactly.
like where I wanted the camera to be and everything. And that's it, it's just, it's free. It's such a freedom. So you guys, if you're watching this, think about what I've said, flip the script. You got to flip that script. Once you
Yep.
flip the script, everything else will start to change.
I love it, Renee. It's so true. It's so true. Nobody's coming to save us.
No,
We got
and
to make it
nobody's
happen.
taking us out of JOB either. Let's be real, okay? I literally thought I had a secure job, you guys. I worked for a friend for 9 years. And then I kept hearing that he was going to sell the company through the rumor mill. Not him. He was my friend. Before I even worked for him, we traveled together. We were friends. And literally, I found out because I called him out on it. And I'm like, okay, I've asked you too many times now. Clearly, you're selling the business. I've heard it again today. Tell me what the hell is happening. Within 2 or 3 weeks, the business was sold. There was a new owner to the company, and he thought it wasn't important to meet me. Small company. And I was the business director of business development, and he never reached out to me for 9 weeks. When he finally did, I had already started another business. I'm like, sorry, my entrepreneur mindset's shifted in, and I don't
Yeah.
want to work for you anymore because you took 9 weeks to reach out to me, and I don't think that's cool. So what are you going to do with my customers? And when they might have an issue, I was in the inspection business. Things happen. How are you gonna handle it if you couldn't even reach out to me?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and you know what? At the end of the day, our reputations are really important. You got
Yeah,
to guard your reputation. So I'm
it's
not
true.
going to go out there and represent somebody else unless I 100% believe in them. And when you don't know somebody, how can you believe in them?
Yeah, that's hard. When you're doing something you don't love and you're working for a company that it's a job that, that goes toward paying the bills, doesn't even pay everything.
Right.
But you're selling your soul, you're selling your life
You're
away.
selling your time. You're selling your family's time. How
Yep.
many times, I'm sure there's somebody watching this right now that will agree to this, that you couldn't go to your child's class to read to them during the day because you
Yep.
could be at work. I missed all of that. I hated it. I was always
Wow.
so envious of people that I would see that could work in the school and they could spend time with their child growing up and watching them. I'm super close with my daughter. I wanted to come in and read to her class, a simple little task. Couldn't do it. Couldn't take off the work. You can do that, but then you can't take off the day before Labor Day the day before Labor Day because and now you have to work instead of being with your family to go on a vacation. Like
Right.
so, and then what about the times when your kid is sick and then that kid gets better and then the next kid gets sick the same time frame and you've got three of them and that just keeps rotating and then by the time they're all better you're freaking sick as a dog and now
Yeah.
you can't even go into work. But guess what, you just used up all your freaking 3 days of PTO and your vacation time to take off because you don't have enough.
It's almost like being enslaved,
It is, but you're
you
getting
know?
for it and you're a lot of times getting tortured for it. How many people got a job with a job description that turned out to be way more than they bargained for the same money that they were told they would make, but you're taking on more responsibility? I did that. That was me. I did it for forever. I worked in a company where I was in sales and I ended up doing all the hiring and training along with somebody else, but I was the one that they had to interview at first.
Wow.
Everything started me and I'm like, wait a minute. Finally went to them and I said, hey, wait a second. I have to stop. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I'm not making any extra money on it. And I'm in sales. You're taking away from my time. Time equals money, right? That's what we thought.
What did they say when you said that?
And they created a position for me and they changed my pay structure.
Well, that's good. I mean, at least they did that, but the
I
fact
think
that
you can do better.
you even had to excuse me, that you even had to ask. My husband deals with that too.
That's right.
Excuse me.
So, so I hope this helped everybody. It definitely is something that I think a lot of people don't really give a lot of thought to, and they just kind of go through the motions as we evolve into it.
Yeah.
But if you really could think about it and flip the script and let go of some things, change your mindset. It's like anything, you change your mindset. When you flip that script, you get a different result.
Do you think, Renee, that a lot of people honestly, like genuinely don't realize that they can work for themselves? I think there's a lot of people out there that don't even realize that that's an option for them.
I was one of them for a very long time. I mean, I told you, I worked in corporate for 40 plus years, working for other people, making their dreams come true. And I dreamed about it. I just would dream about that one day when I'm on my
Wow.
yacht or I'm doing this or I'm doing that and I'm going whenever I want to. I would dream about it. And I didn't think I could do it. Not that I couldn't do it, but I couldn't afford to do it because how can you afford to do it when you're living paycheck to paycheck and you need that money every week? How can you afford it, right?
Yeah,
How can
you're
you
stuck.
afford, yeah, how can you afford it? And also, you always thought that starting your own business meant that you needed to have a lot of money to do that. And it's not the case.
Yeah.
It's not the case, especially right now. You do not need a lot of money to do it. We already
No.
know that, right? So you don't need, in fact, I got into this business, as I'm sure you did too, for less than I paid for my cell phone,
Yeah, exactly. How did
right?
you get into this, Renee? How did you get into digital marketing?
Yeah, so what happened was when my job decided that they were selling the company and I decided I didn't want to stay there anymore, as I told him I wanted more money. I sacrificed a lot working for my friends because at the end of the day, he gave me more time freedom, which was really important to me.
Right,
So
right.
that kind of was the start to me being an entrepreneur in a way, even though I was getting paid by somebody else. There was
Yeah,
nobody micromanaging me anymore. So that was great for me. So I got a taste of that freedom and I didn't want to give it up. It was too hard to give up.
yeah.
So anyway, when that change happened and I said to myself, what the hell am I going to do now? I then turned around and I was like, well, I'm going to Google how to make money online because everybody else is making money online. And I've made money online before, but just because I was in network marketing businesses and things like that, but I didn't know how to set it up myself or anything. So I Googled it. And the first thing was digital marketing, but I didn't know anything about it. The second thing was drop
Wow.
shipping. And I read all the descriptions about it. And I'm like, drop shipping. Now that sounds like something I can do because now I don't have to touch the products. So I didn't have a product to do digital marketing. So I couldn't do digital marketing without a product. So I went into drop shipping and I found products. And what I did was I found out that it costs a lot of money to do drop shipping, even though they tell you that it doesn't. It's not true because I had to pay to have somebody, unless you are really techy, and I'm not, I paid somebody to build my website. And I paid the same person to redo my website the same amount of money when I didn't like it the first time. Not because they didn't do it right, but I decided to change my direction. I didn't like it.
Oh, yeah,
Like a
yeah. Okay.
wannabe Amazon store. I didn't even understand it myself. So that's when I got my job shipping store and I created an online boutique and it was so much fun. I loved it and I loved doing all the marketing for it and blah, blah, blah. But I started to make some money. It started to go like this and then it went like this and like this and it never went back up. And so here I was paying $1,000 a month to a company to do my marketing for me. So I didn't know how to do Google ads. I didn't know how to do any of
Wow.
these things. So they were doing that. Well, I didn't get anywhere. I did that for 10 months. I spent,
Wow.
and not to mention, I bought a lot of samples because, like I said, my reputation is everything. I don't want to buy crap. And since I needed to see what people were doing,
Right.
so I would buy stuff just to
Yeah.
see, and then I figured, okay, I'll wear it. But then if it was too big or it was not fitting right or I didn't like it, I just kept it here. And I then opened up like a store inside my house where I would do these
Uh,
parties and I would sell the samples. Well, that cost me a freaking lot of money for huge garbage bags filled with clothes that I ended up donating
wow.
because I closed my store. And this is how I found out. I was on Facebook and I was like thinking already in my mind, I already had my mind going. What am I going to do about my store? Because it's not business wise, it's not making sense to keep it open anymore. I can't compete with Shane. I can't compete with Temu. I can't compete with Amazon. It's impossible.
Oh,
It's impossible because when you are a drop shipper, you're paying wholesale what they're already charging retail. You can't even make the money, right? So
right.
I see my friend Allison, she posts about digital marketing, and I'm like thinking, okay, digital marketing. that's what I'm already doing, but I need to learn how to do it the right way. So maybe I don't need to pay these people $1,000 a month anymore and I can keep my store open a little longer. So I jumped in, I immediately called her, got on the phone with her. And that night I purchased the program, haven't looked back. And I ended up closing my store, I think a few weeks later. When I started getting money in right away from this business, like literally in 6 days, I made $900. And then I was, before you know it, I was at 10,000. And it was like, it just hit me, right? So that's when I realized, I just made in less than 2 months what I spent in a year and a half on this business. And I'm like,
Wow.
this doesn't make sense anymore. So I closed my store
That
and I
is
made the decision
awesome though.
to pull it all down. And it was hard because I worked really hard on it. And you got to eat your pride sometimes, especially as an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
We got to eat our pride sometimes and realize you got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them. So I folded that and I just went full time into this. I love what I do.
that's awesome. It seems like the store was kind of like a stepping stone.
It definitely was. It had its purpose. It taught me a lot.
Yeah,
And it taught me that I can start my own business from scratch that I didn't know I can do.
that's
Taught me
awesome.
that I can work for myself and I can be the CEO of my PTO
I
and my
love that. CEO of my PTO. I
and
love
the
it.
CEO of my
That's
life.
awesome.
I'm
That's
CEO of my life.
awesome.
And I work a lifestyle business, so I can work from anywhere. And I'm like living my dream that I could not live while I was in my 9 to 5.
That's so awesome, Renee. That's so awesome. I love this business.
I do too. It's so fun and it's so rewarding. And I really never thought that I needed a community until I started to realize how amazing this community is. And I have so many cool friends from here that I cannot wait to hug and see next week.
Yep.
I'm so excited. And
Isn't
some
it
that I've already
awesome?
met, some I've met. Elisa has actually come to my house here in Florida and stayed with me. Her and her husband have stayed with me.
That's
The beginning of the month, actually, or the end of last month. And that was super cool. And I get to see her again next week. So I'm super excited. And there's other people that were on our cruise when we did the digital growth cruise last year, who I'm excited to see, my friends from there. So yeah, I never thought working for myself, I'd have so many friends that I didn't even know.
awesome. You meet the most amazing people.
Yeah,
Because
amazing.
entrepreneurs are really creative people.
And
They're,
what's really cool about it is we all bring different strengths and different weaknesses to the
yep,
table. So what one person is strong in and somebody else is weak in, we are right there to help you guys. We're right there to pick you back up, right? It's so cool. Like
yeah.
literally help you get to a better place.
Our
And
community is
that's why
amazing.
Elisa and I are the best accountability partners because she's really strong in funnels and I'm not. So she helps me and teaches me that. I'm stronger in ChatGPT, so I work with her on that. So we do certain things that
That's awesome.
contribute to each other to strengthen each other. Now imagine if we didn't have that. We would still have our weaknesses. We'd be working on trying to fix them, but somebody else is like, well, let me show you.
Right.
Because if you can be taught, we can learn so much.
Yeah.
It's the beautiful
We
thing
have
of
the
it.
greatest community.
The best. It's really can't say enough about it. So I'm
Yeah,
really
I agree. I
and I
agree.
think, one day when you start mastermind, you're gonna see that also. It's actually even more of an amazing community because we're all in there together and there's not that many. So we really have all become so supportive, really getting to know each other and really having a lot of fun with each
Amazing.
other.
That's what I want. I definitely want to do the mastermind. I just have to get there. I will.
You will. When
Uh,
it's ready for you, you will. You'll do what
Yep.
listen, we all have to listen to our little spidey sense and our gut, right? Because when it's ready and it's there and that's it,
Yep.
right? And that's the most
Exactly.
important thing. So we have to live our lives because listen, there's a lot of craziness going on in today's world, not like
Oh,
I experienced at all growing up. Okay. This is new world for me.
yeah.
And we have to adjust to it. And I really, really think that there's not a better time than right now to be happy, really be happy because you have to be happy to overcome all the sadness that goes on around
Yeah.
us. And being in your own business, it makes me really happy. Feel
Yeah.
sitting outside in my office here and feeling that breeze, as you can see behind me, blowing right now. It's like 74 degrees out here. It's absolutely incredible. Like, do I want to trade that to work inside all day? No.
No.
Hate, I used to hate looking. I'm an outside girl. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not hiking and doing all of that. That's not my outside. I'm beach and pool outside.
I
Okay.
love it.
I'm like, give me a walk outside on flat land. I'm really good, right? No, no, but I love the air and I love the breeze. And I used to sit in my office and it would be the beginning of spring, which is my favorite time of year. And I would have to sit there and look out the window and wish I was out there.
Oh,
Can't wait until 5 o'clock so I can leave and go out there. And that is something I never need to do ever again.
so many people waste their lives away waiting for 5 o'clock, waiting for the weekend, you know?
Waiting every 2 weeks for that paycheck.
Yep.
And then by the time they get to the next 2 weeks, that paycheck's already gone. It's been gone. It's usually gone the first weekend, and the next weekend you got to lay low, and then the following weekend, you're going to get paid again, and you're going to spend it because you didn't have money, and now you're going
Yeah.
to catch up. That's how it is. It's a vicious, vicious cycle, and too many people are stuck in it. It's like a washing machine that just keeps going around, and you get sucked into it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's like being brainwashed, thinking that that's what you're supposed to do.
Right?
That's not living.
It's not living, and there's no reason to live like that.
No,
No, it's
I
just because
totally
the
agree.
only reason why we live like that is, like you said, we're just conditioned.
Yeah. It's amazing because there's so many things that we are conditioned about, like making money or not. Like if you want to make more, that you're being greedy, which is BS, or that you can't work for yourself or you can't be independent, which is all BS. But I
Oh,
mean, there's so many messages out there that we've been brainwashed to believe, and they're not even our beliefs.
and that's the thing. When you start to have your own beliefs and you start to realize that, and I gotta say, 50s are the most empowering age that I've experienced. It's been absolutely incredible. I'm kind of sad to be exiting it. I'm not looking forward to 60.
Oh,
That's like weird to say, but 50s have been the most empowering, uplifting age. It's like you get to 50 and you're like, listen, I've already done 50 years under my
yeah.
belt. I'm going to tell you how things go. Okay. I'm going to show you a better way because you don't need to take crap from anybody anymore. You're like, no, I'm putting my foot down because you don't need to. And you get so strong and so empowered. At least for me, I did. And I think that my 50s have been the best, the
Oh,
best.
I love that. That's awesome.
Don't ever be afraid of aging.
I've heard somebody else say that like life starts at 50.
I really think it does, to be honest. I really
That's
do. You start to
awesome.
look at things very differently. You start to look at that 9 to 5 that you did for 40 years differently. Everything looks different to you.
Yeah.
You start to even be like, don't, first of all, I never was somebody who let anybody talk poorly to me. So, but I see a lot of women, even men, I see them do that. And I want to be like, no, no, nobody should ever speak poorly to you,
Right.
and that's the thing, like, that's the nice thing about being an entrepreneur is that no one's speaking poorly to you. Nobody
Right. You're
is talking down to you.
right. You're driving the car. You're
It,
driving.
it's your thought process.
Yeah.
It's your thought process, and having people that are like-minded like you, like we have from our community, and mentors that have already experienced it, that's really all you need in your life.
It's amazing. I think this business is life changing. Absolutely.
In
Uh,
so many ways. So yeah, and look, it brought us together. So I'm super excited about that too.
Me too, Renee. Me too. And Elisa too.
Yes, and she brought us
Yep.
together. So see how that all works, right?
Yep.
Well,
Exactly.
if there's
Well,
anything anybody needs or wants to know, I would love to hear back from you. So I'll be in that in the replay. I'll be in the thread. Comment below, just tag me in there and let me go ahead and respond to you. I would love to.
awesome. Renee, thank you, Mama. Thank you so much for being with us. And this was wonderful.
Well,
This
thank you
was
so much for having
wonderful.
me. I appreciate you.
You too, Mommy. I'll make sure you get the replay link as well, and we'll have to do this again.
Awesome. Awesome. All right.
All
Thanks, love.
right.
Have a
Bye,
great day.
Mama. Bye, sweetie.